What got me passionate about becoming an Image One franchise owner was able to see how my father was able to run his business the way that he saw the best path, and the way that he was able to be with his family and have the flexibility to be able to work the hours that he chose, being able to control his hours, being able to control the amount of business that he does at one time, and then being able to almost build his own future and not being dependent on somebody else working in the corporate world, and knowing the path that you're going to go down and eventually get to. Something that my father showed me when I was young was he had a vision board, and he was able to achieve each and every one of those things that was on his vision board as a result of owning his own business. And that's something that kind of influenced me to jump in this line of business of being my franchise gives us the assistance to be able to move forward and not being on our own completely. Some of the questions that you might have as a sole proprietor or somebody who's starting their own business, you might not have the answers to, and you might have to hire somebody to influence you or to give you those answers. With having a franchise, you're able to have those answers just at the end of a phone call or at an email. So it's very easy doing it with a franchise. Hi, my name is Anthony Conn, and I own and operate a franchise of Image One in Fort Myers, Florida. So I've owned my own actual franchise since I was 16 years old. I'm 29 now. So 13 years I've actually been a franchise owner, but I've been doing cleaning and doing other franchise owner type things since I was probably about 14, maybe even 13 years old, helping out my father. Image One is truly a family business, not only because there is family within the business, but because of how everybody is treated within the business at the office or as franchise owners. Nobody is treated beneath anybody, and nobody is treated as if they're an outcast. If somebody needs help in their social life or in their family life, in addition to the business life, they're treated as if they're a part of the family. The franchise owners are seen as business partners and seen as almost as a part of the family rather than seen as a means to an end, somebody to make the corporate world money. In regard to the actual family in itself of the business, my father started the business. My father started my brother and I when we were about 5 years old, just introducing us to the business life, introducing us to what running a business entails. And then my uncle has gotten into the business, owns a franchise in Colorado. And then my aunt even does some telemarketing for the business, helping out the franchise owners with training, helping out the franchise owners prospect. So it's truly a family business in that regard. Both my brother and I own franchises in Image One. And on top of the normal competition of wanting to be the best franchise owner, there's a little added competition between the two of us, kind of seeing where we're at, what we're doing, the production of each and every single month. But in addition to the competition, we also help each other because we've grown up helping each other. So at the end of the day, we want to compete numbers wise, or we want to compete and see who does the best at the end of the year. But whenever somebody needs a little bit of help, we're always helping each other in the end, whether it's staffing purposes, if we need help starting a new account, something along those lines. When I was 16, I started the business in Chicago, my own franchise. Nico worked with me when I was in Chicago. Then once Nico moved to Florida, he opened his own branch in Fort Myers. I didn't live here for 3 years when he was living here, so I was still running my business in Chicago. And then I moved down here and actually partnered with Nico. And ironically, we were less productive when we were partners than we are now that we are competing, because I think the competition drives us a little bit to excel and to get better. So I think this has helped actually to separate and to become more competitive with each other.